Bachelor is back, and I am so excited because it is Joey. Okay, he is so adorable. He's just so sweet, and I'm so happy that he is the Bachelor. Okay, so he was on charity season, and he's a tennis, like awesome badass tennis professional player. He was like, I think he's also an instructor, and he was living in Hawaii, and now he's back in Philadelphia, where he's from. But like, I need to talk about this. This is the first episode. If you guys haven't seen it, you need to get on this because it's so good. He is seriously just a very genuine human being. You could just tell, right? And he's very family oriented. He's so connected to his family. Like, these are qualities that you want to find in your person. So like, you may have never experienced this. Like, some of these qualities that you may see are like just foreign to some of you, because you may have settled for a lot of guys that are not emotionally mature, and he is so mature. Like, there's a lot of maturity in him, and he has a lot of clarity on what he wants. And so let's unpack this a little bit. It's the first episode, and I love how from the first second, he's talking about his grandparents and how they were an example of this amazing love. They adored each other, and that was his example. Those are his role models. That's what he wants. And so this is so important when you're talking to somebody and seeing what they want and what inspired them to even want that, right? And have, are their parents still together? Are their grandparents still together? Do they have anybody as an example of the relationship that they want? And sometimes when people are just surrounded by, couples that are toxic or divorced, and it's just a mess, and, it's not to say that, oh yeah, screw them, they're not going to be a good match for you because they don't know what it looks like. But they definitely have had to take extra steps to see what is it they want, what is possible for them, even though they've never witnessed it, right? So like, I've gotten into conversations with people where they don't even believe in a happily ever after. They don't believe in an amazing couple that adore each other and add value to each other's life. They don't even think it's possible. So you don't want to date someone that doesn't even believe that it's possible, right? Why are you going to date someone that doesn't believe in a forever kind of love? And you're just going to try to prove it to them that it does exist? It's not going to happen. It's not. And so I do feel like seeing Joey talk about the love that his grandparents have, and that's what he wants, is so good. It's so good. It seems very clear that he's being intentional and he knows what he wants, right? Okay. The thing that of course he's doing that I'm not a fan of, and a lot of you, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe because it's very important. I know that, a lot of people are kissing all the time and on these shows, but on The Bachelor, please, oh my gosh, why can't these people just slow it down? Everyone is always making out. And I am like, listen, I'm a fan of kissing. That's awesome. But you literally have said like 2 words to each other and now you're kissing. And so I do feel that's a misstep, because so many times we kiss, we get physical, and we put blinders on. We're not even like listening anymore. We're not asking those deeper questions, those probing questions to find out who are they? Are they aligned to what I truly want? Now it's like, oh yeah, and now I'm kissing them, and oh my gosh, that felt so good. And you veered off track, right? So now I'm a little bit worried about Joey. I'm like, oh no, Joey, because he has as many great intentions as he may have to find his person. If he is making out with so many women, right? And he didn't go crazy. It wasn't like so many, but it was just a good amount. I just feel that he's going to lose focus. He's going to lose, like, wait a second, what is it you want again? What is it? Are you asking questions, or are we just making out? So this is my advice to you. This is why watching The Bachelor, I always recommend, because it's good to learn from their mistakes. It's good to learn what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. Okay. So yeah, the makeout sessions, I'm not a big fan of. Jess was the first girl that kissed him, and I think she's 24. As soon as that happened, she walked into the room with all the ladies and announced to them that they kissed. And I'm just like, what? Are you a child? Like, seriously. And it just shows massive, like, lack of maturity. And the way that she spoke about it in her confidential, I am not a fan of Jess. I'm like, there's no way. If Joey knew like how she just was speaking to the ladies and she's like, I'm not here to make friends. Like she talked about that in the confessional. It just speaks so much of her character. And I'm just not a fan of Jess. Like people tell you who they are. And I don't like Jess. I'm like, bye, bye, Jess. Like if Joey picks Jess, like he's in for it. Like I just can't. So that's my take on Jess. The girl that I absolutely really like is Leah. Leah was the one that was on the after the final rose at the end of the Bachelorette, you know, when they announced Joey as the Bachelor. This is like 2 months ago, whatever. And she was there and got to meet him, and she got a special envelope. Anyway, you know, what she did with that envelope, she had to wait until the first, when she arrived to the mansion, she opens it, and it says, you can, basically when someone has a one-on-one date with Joey, she can take it. She can take the one-on-one. How she responded to that, you know, that envelope or whatever, she was just showed her character. And she won me over. I was like, what a good freaking human being. A genuine person. What she said was beautifully said. She was like, if I'm your person, like she didn't want to do it by, you know, playing God, as she said, kind of like, oh yeah, I'm going to take someone's one-on-one and get my time. And she also said something so freaking mature. I loved it. She's like, Joey, this is your journey and I trust your judgment, and whoever you want to go on dates with, go on it. And I'm not going to be the one to like take someone else's date, you know, that you wanted to go on. She was really respecting him and his journey. Massive maturity, and she burns it in the fireplace. And the fire, whatever you call it. I clearly don't have a fire, whatever you call it, fireplace. Anyway, and you know what? Jess, of course, the immature girl, she's like, I would have taken it. I would have used it. I'm like, of course you would have, you know, no surprise there. But Leah was amazing. And because of that, you know, Leah, and by the way, hopefully you've watched it. And if you haven't, watch it and then listen to this because it's a spoiler alert. I probably should have said that from the beginning. And he gives the first impression rose to Leah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like Joey, yes. Like Joey is choosing, and he hadn't even kissed Leah at that point yet. And he is choosing the girl that has, you know, just like aligned to who he is as a human being. Like just a lot of integrity, honest, just a deep soul. So I'm like so feeling like Joey right now, and like in the sense that he's a great bachelor. He is being really intentional. And I like Leah so much. What else is wrong with it though? Because it always is. There are some girls that showed up on the episode, and it's just like, are you serious right now? And actually, this is something that I want to bring up because, like, for example, there's this one girl that brought a platter, like literally just got out of the limo, said hi to the bachelor, and said, oh, which one resonates with you the most? And it was different sizes, like different bananas. Some are cut up and, you know, smaller, you know, longer, shorter, whatever. And he picks one that's a good, like, he's like, okay, the medium regular size or whatever. But basically she's just saying, what's the size of your dick? Like, I'm like, are you kidding me right now? And I just feel like, even if you're trying to be funny, I just don't feel that. Like, I just feel that people are going on a show to try to find love and really lean into this process. Take this shit seriously. And like, you know, even though like you can be funny and have a great time and show your personality, but the first thing out of your mouth, like the first thing that you're saying, your biggest concern is the size of his penis. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, no, I just didn't think it was funny. I thought it was just, and also I do know that some people can be really hung up on the size of someone's penis. Like, it's like, oh no, what's the size? Forget it. And I truly feel that you're missing the boat. Like, that's not the point. The point is all about emotional connection. If you are leaning so much into the size of their penis, like, you have your own shit to heal. Like, you're totally not understanding when you are ready to find your partner and share your life with them. You know, the size of their penis should not be number one thing you need to be finding out. And if you are leading with that, if that's your biggest concern, you need to unpack that. Why are you so heavily leaning into sex? Why is everything about sex for you? Why is, what's going on there? Sometimes we protect ourselves and guard ourselves to become vulnerable. And you think about these things and you say, oh, it's all about sex or the size of the dick and da da da. And it's like, when it's not about that. And when it requires you to emotionally connect and really put your guard down and actually emotionally connect with someone and talk about things to your core of who you are and what scares you and what excites you, what is your passion in life, like, who the hell are you? When it gets to those things, it's like, no, like, let's talk about the size of your dick. Like, what? So, it's interesting. I want to know, let me know, subscribe if you haven't on YouTube, subscribe on Spotify or Apple, reply back to me on the JkL&x on Instagram. I want to know, like, did that girl with the bananas, was it something like, oh yeah, I really care about the guy's size of his penis. Like, I really want to know about this. Let me know if that's important to you. Maybe I should do an episode about the size of a penis, because I do have some experience with that. And that could be really beneficial for you guys. But regardless of that, I do not think leading a conversation, the first thing out of your mouth, first concern when you're meeting somebody, the size of the penis doesn't matter. That I will say. Yeah, so that girl, I don't even know her name. You see, like, that's how little I cared about that girl. I was like, I don't even know her name. And then the last thing I have to say about the episode is that we have sisters on the show. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm a twin. If you don't know that, I'm an identical twin. And, my twin sister married an identical twin, and that was her ex-husband. And so it was funny when I met the brother, and it was kind of like a clown act. It was crazy. Us four were identical at the time. Either way, I'm not into that, dating the same person, not even dating a twin. So when they're both kind of fighting over Joey, I'm like, ugh, no, I'm not feeling that at all. I was hoping Joey was going to get rid of one of the sisters, and he didn't. And I was like, what? And he had already kissed one of the sisters. The younger one, who I like better, actually. The older one is kind of like, ugh, she's coming on really, really, like, serious and kind of scary. And I'm just like, she seems a little bit too desperate too. She has like this desperate energy. Like, I'm older, and she seems a little bit like, very competitive with her sister. So that makes her, it just feels like she's coming from a place of like insecurity, and that's never attractive. So why would you bring your sister, who is, getting your head about it, and you're competing with her? You're just gonna come off like really insecure. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the whole sister thing. And if any of the sisters are gonna win this, maybe it's the little sister. But yeah, I don't know. And I haven't even called, like, I should have picked one of the girls to be like, oh, that's gonna be the winner. But I don't know yet. It's too soon to tell. I want to see. There's a lot of great, like, contenders. There's so many great women, and I'm excited to see what happens. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you see it. Let me know your thoughts. I appreciate you guys. I thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. And don't settle for anything less than crazy love, because it has to be crazy love or nothing.